Okay, guys, second voting list for this session. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, but 2 are withdrawn. So we're going to continue with the process that we started this session where the subcommittee chairs will explain the bills, the amendments, and council is here for questions. So we'll start with House Bill 38.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 38 is basically is a reflection of how we currently operate, where mortgage loan originators who have a relationship with a insurance company that does mortgages can sever that relationship and work with other mortgage financial institutions. So this is a bill that OFR has reviewed and seen and provided some more technical cleanup amendments that you have in your packet. And we voted this out with favorable with amendments and out of subcommittee. And we're looking to vote it out favorable with amendments on full committee.
Move the amendments.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion? Vice Chair Charkoudian.
For amendments, can we just?
Oh, yeah, I think those. Okay, sure.
So we have to, do we accept the amendments?
All, I'm sorry. Yeah. All on the amendments, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none.
Move favorable with amendments.
Second.
It's been moved with amendments and second. Any discussion? Seeing none. Vice Chair Charkoudian.
Yes.
Delegate Turner. Yes. Delegate Fennell. Yes. Delegate Pruski. Aye. Delegate Howard.
Yes.
Delegate Johnson. Aye. Delegate Boifo. Aye. Delegate Bandari.
Yes.
Delegate Rogers.
Yes.
Delegate Chi.
Yes.
Delegate Arentz.
Aye.
Delegate Queen.
Yes.
Delegate Ampry.
Aye.
Delegate Adams.
Aye.
Delegate Pippi.
Yes.
Delegate Crosby's excused. Delegate Rose is excused. Delegate Weigel.
Yes.
Delegate Roberts. Yes. House Bill 80.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 80, brought to us by Delegate Vogel, is a landlord-tenant residential leases fee disclosures. What this bill does, it requires landlords to provide fee disclosures up front for tenants, what fees they're responsible for, et cetera. There were some amendments added to the bill to satisfy some of those who were currently opposed to the bill from the IOBA and the Multi-Unit Family Association. What those amendments did was it required trash to be considered a utility and not a fee. Additionally, it removed some technical language to ensure that the remove the word, I believe, minor, some technical language that was needed to clean up the bill. It moved favorable with those amendments out of the subcommittee.
Move the amendments.
All in the amendments, say aye.
Aye.
Any, oh, Delegate Weigel.
Question on the amendment. Do any of the amendments remove the fees?
When you say, are you talking about the fees or the penalties?
The penalty, the damages.
No, there were no amendments to remove any of the damages. As currently drafted, the damages permit a court to provide damages. May, the key word there is may, damages 3 times. So
3 times in
Yeah.
a 2-year statute.
Yep. And again, the key word there is may. So that is the ceiling. It is not the floor.
All right, thanks. I just don't like those. Thank you.
Delegate Adams.
So let's just say we had a landlord that owned a 90-unit multifamily, makes an honest mistake to charge a fee that wasn't properly disclosed, and it would allow all 90 of these tenants to presumably join together and show up in court. So in this setting, without a change to the damages part, that could be especially with 2-year look-back period, that is a major penalty that I don't think that the committee should be passing, at least on a first violation, maybe subsequent or willful violation or something like that. This penalty provision is not vetted, in my opinion. It allows for just a very bad outcome for a honest mistake.
Delegate Aaron's.
I just had a point of order real quick. If we could maybe announce the subcommittee vote, because when we say the subcommittee approved it, it almost sounds like it was unanimous, and it isn't typically.
It was party line vote.
No. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Just want to be that.
Yeah.
I also don't like the fee. On the amendment, I mean, would it be, could we talk to the sponsor about removing it? I mean, or did you, is that done? I think nobody really hates the bill that much that they wouldn't approve that bill without the fee. The penalty. And I mean, it's not a horrible bill.
Do you want to offer an amendment?
I didn't, but I would.
I'm going to suggest that we hold this bill for potential
He
amendment.
was here, wasn't he?
No.
Vogel wasn't.
I support holding the bill so we can get the fee part or the penalty part right.
I mean, is there, oh, I'm sorry.
There's been I want to make sure someone said second.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm turning mine off, I'm sorry.
There we go. Thank you, Madam Chair. Just for the record, Mr. Chair of the subcommittee, that's a weird thing to say, but Mr. Chair, was this the exact bill that we passed out of the House last year?
Yes, it's the exact bill as amended that was passed out of the House last year that was sent over to the Senate, and it didn't move out of the Senate.
Okay.
But we did pass it.
Madam Chair, I get there's concerns about the penalty provision in the bill, and you know, those who are on the subcommittee may have voted this particular way, but I do encourage us to move the bill in the current posture, and for the record, in the posture in which it passed the House last year.
Yeah, I appreciate the delegate's comment, but this was voted out of Environment and Transportation. It was not voted out of our committee. And we said this earlier, I think Delegate Chief said it, that, you know, this is something we look at, are the fees and stuff like that here. And what we're doing here is the potential of punishing a landlord again, okay? And everybody likes the bill. I think most of us like the bill. I think I'd vote for the bill if the bill had the penalty removed. Nobody's doing this deliberately. If trash is the big hang-up, somebody misses something. I just don't see you'll raise rates, you'll raise rents when this happens, because I will protect myself in case I make a mistake. And that's why I think we should, hopefully we'll get rid of it, but again, it wasn't us that voted on the bill, but thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Aaron's. I'm going to make the final motion here. I'm going to hold the bill. So we will hold House Bill 80. Next bill, House Bill 85.
Yes, this bill is brought by our vice chair. Simply, it establishes the corporate limited equity housing corporations system. There was also amendments that were added to the bill that satisfied some of the issues that MACO had with the bill. It moved favorably through the subcommittee. I think that was a unanimous.
I didn't vote.
All right,
Move the amendments.
There's been a move and a second. All in the amendments, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any discussion? Okay.
Move the bill favorable with amendments.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Delegate Adams.
So with the amendments, is the bill enabling?
I'll let the vice chair.
You mean, does it force somebody to become?
Is it just enabling legislation? Does it give a model legislation to do this?
It allows a co-op to form, a limited equity housing co-op to form, yes.
Okay. And my second question is, there are certainly housing co-ops. What we're doing here is we're giving certain rules that allow for the business model that we're talking about here, limited equity housing corporations, to exist without having to ask an attorney to go whole cloth and build it on their own. We're trying to give model legislation that they can use to actually create these. Is that correct?
Essentially, yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none?
No, it's over here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Delegate Howard.
Let's see, fiscal summary at the very top. The bill prohibits a county or municipality from imposing restrictions on a CLEHC, including restricting the sale of residential rental facilities to a Maryland non-stock corporation. So this does restrict counties and municipalities at the local level unless the amendments do away with that.
I'll yield to the vice chair.
What the bill does is it restricts the counties and localities from having additional rules for a company to be a limited equity housing co-op beyond the rules that the state has imposed. MACO asked for clarifying amendments because they were fine with that idea of to be a limited equity housing co-op. The state has set the rules. They're not going to set additional rules. They were fine with that. Their clarifying amendments were just making it clear that that doesn't mean that these companies can like override zoning or wastewater or anything else. So just it clarifies what was the intent of it. So MACO is now supportive of the bill.
Great. As far as the jurisdictions are concerned and the rules that they have on the books that speak to this.
They don't have rules that speak to this.
Should there be any, this would supersede those.
If they had rules.
All 24 jurisdictions, none of them have rules that speak to this.
None of the jurisdictions have rules that speak to a limited equity housing cooperative as a corporate entity. This creates that in state law, and it says they can't add additional things other than what the state says to be a limited equity housing co-op. That aligns this with other cooperative law, cooperative business law, cooperative housing, other kinds of cooperatives. And their only clarification was to make sure it didn't mean that because you were a limited equity housing co-op, you could then override their zoning or anything else. That was the clarification we added at their request.
Great, so we're punching down on the counties again. Okay, I'll be a no on the bill.
Delegate Bandari.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a comment. I understood this bill as that builds modest equity while keeping homes affordable, and it gives a resident a simple, very transparent path to convert their buildings into limited equity cooperatives, and it preserves the affordability and preventing displacement. I'll be voting yes on this bill.
Delegate Pippi.
Thank you. I mean, it's certainly not a hill that I'm going to die on, but I just want to point out for the good of the order that in the fiscal summary, it said there was no state effect. However, DLS went an extra step, and further down, they said that based on other bills that we've had, similar bills, there would be a $278,000 expense in 2028 to implement this program. They said that SSTAT did not respond to them. Otherwise, they would have included that in the fiscal summary. So this does have a fiscal note of $278,000.
It doesn't. SSTAT didn't respond to them because it doesn't have an impact. So we reached out to SSTAT. SSTAT sent a letter saying there's no fiscal impact, and we've gotten clearance now from appropriations as the bill to now be considered to have zero fiscal impact.
Oh, wow. I mean,
So I think fiscal note was doing the best that they could without having heard from SSTAT. SSTAT didn't respond because there was no cost. Once we reached out to SSTAT, they clarified that they could do it with existing resources.
And that testimony's in the packet?
The letter, I think council has the letter from SSTAT. We can get you the letter.
okay.
What's the letter say?
It says there's no fiscal impact.
The letter says move unfavorable.
The bill's been moved
I'm
favorable
kidding.
with amendments at this point, just to clarify where we are in the process.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we received a letter. That letter was submitted to appropriations, and we can also send it to the full committee.
Any other discussion? Okay. Delegate Ahrens.
I apologize. I just don't, my limited experience with co-ops, and I assume this is for low-income housing and stuff like that. The comments that I've read through on this stuff are not real favorable. Should somebody that's in these houses fail to do something, they pretty much lose everything by vote. And I don't know if we're really accomplishing a lot unless everybody plays nice and everything goes smoothly. And again, I'm just reading about it. I don't have any practical experience with it. It just doesn't seem to me, I lived in something like this as a child, and I remember some of the problems that we ran into, but we didn't have all we had to have. So I probably don't want to support the bill, but it's probably more out of a lack of thorough understanding. And I understand enabling means something, and we have them, but I'm just not a fan. So it's not like that's all.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion, debate? Is there a motion on this made?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
favorable amendment.
There's a motion and a second. All in the amendments, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Sorry, I moved the bill.
It's been moved and seconded. Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Turner? Delegate Fennell? Delegate Pruski? Delegate Howard? Delegate Johnson? Delegate Boifo? Delegate Bandari? Delegate Rogers? Delegate Chi? Delegate Aaron's? Delegate Queen? Delegate Amprey? Delegate Adams? Yes? Yes. Delegate Pippi? Delegate Crosby's excused. Delegate Rose is excused. Delegate Wyval? Yes. Delegate Roberts? House Bill 118. House Bill 118.
HB 118 provides clarifying language about the roles and responsibility of a money transmitter and a payroll processor. So it outlines the clear distinction of the two roles and the regulatory structure. This is, again, a bill that has been reviewed by the Office of Financial Regulations, and there are no amendments to this bill. We'd like to move it moved favorably out of subcommittee. We'd like to move it favorably in full committee. Yes, it was. Thank you.
Move favorable.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none?
I did. Yes, I moved it favorable.
Thank you.
And she seconded it.
Oh,
Yes.
I missed that, too.
Okay.
Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Turner? Yes. Delegate Fennell? Yes. Delegate Pruski? Delegate Howard? Yes. Delegate Johnson? Delegate Boifo? Delegate Bandari?
Yes.
Delegate Rogers?
Yes.
Delegate Chi? Yes. Delegate Aaron's? Delegate Queen?
Yes.
Delegate Amprey? Yes. Delegate Adams? Yes. Delegate Pippi? Delegate Crosby's excused. Delegate Rose is excused. Delegate Wyval? Yes. Delegate Roberts? Yes. House Bill 135.
Okay, House Bill 135 is an economic development bill that enables local county and municipal governments to establish a tax increment financing district in the non-contiguous area. So TIF, or tax increment financing, is a common tool in placemaking and community revitalization that are often used for those very hard-to-develop parcels or areas. Sometimes these areas geographically are just not big enough to structure a TIF district in order to pay off the debt. So this bill is simply enabling local counties and municipalities to have more flexibility in structuring these TIF bills. And of course, as it stands, every local government still has the absolute authority to approve these projects in deciding how they want to finance it. This just gives them more geographic flexibility. And it's supported by, of course, MACO, MML, Affordable Housing Alliance, and all of the development housing communities.
Move favorable.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any discussion? Delegate Adams.
This one I'm concerned about, and my question is, what projects are we talking about actually using this for? I mean, this bill isn't coming and then in hopes of having a project. There has to be some project out there where this is actually going to be used. Do we happen to know what we're talking about?
I can tell you the specific projects, but they could be anywhere from suburban to urban areas where there are very hard to develop areas where local governments have or communities are having a hard time attracting investments. And with tax increment financing, they can tackle those issues more flexibly by projecting what the tax revenue could be for that district, and then issue bonds and pay off debt. I have a separate tax increment financing bill this session, but this one is a much simpler one. It just simply allows them to structure the districts in a more flexible way.
So on the bill, I'm probably going to vote no on this. I might ask the sponsor where the genesis of the bill comes from, but the concern I have is TIFs are very large financial benefits to developers who are putting projects together. I'm curious how a non-contiguous series of projects, how this makes economic sense. And for that reason, I'm going to vote no here in the committee and hopefully get some more information before it gets to the floor.
It does not diminishes the responsibility of local governments at all. Yeah.
Any further Delegate Johnson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is enabling legislation only, correct?
Yeah.
All right, that's all. Thank you.
Any additional discussion? Seeing none. It's been moved in second. Thank you. Vice Chair Charkoudian?
Yes.
Delegate Turner? Yes. Delegate Fennell? Yes. Delegate Pruski? Aye. Delegate Howard? Yes. Delegate Johnson? Delegate Boifo? Aye. Delegate Bandari? Yes. Delegate Rogers? Yes. Delegate Chi? Yes. Delegate Arentz? Yes. Delegate Queen? Yes. Delegate Ampry? Yes. Delegate Adams? Yes. Delegate Pippy? Yes. Delegate Crosby is excused. Delegate Rose is excused. Delegate Wyville? Yes. Delegate Roberts? Yes. House Bill 344.
House Bill 344, business regulation, sale of motor fuel, pricing signage, is very similar to a bill that we just passed 2 years ago, House Bill 822, which was signed by the governor. A lot of opposition to this bill. Pretty much, everybody was in opposition to the bill, given that we had just done it 2 years ago. And the subcommittee didn't like it either.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I think that it was determined that what's needed is enforcement on the previous law that we just passed rather than a new bill that changes things. So for that reason, I'm going to move unfavorable.
There's been a motion unfavorable and second. Any discussion? Seeing none. Vice Chair Charkoudian.
Yes.
Delegate Turner. Yes. Delegate Fennell. Yes. Delegate Pruski. Aye. Delegate Howard.
Aye, only unfavorable.
Delegate Johnson. Aye. Delegate Boifo. Delegate Bandari.
Yes.
Delegate Rogers.
Yes.
Delegate Chi. Yes. Delegate Arentz. Delegate Queen. Yes. Delegate Ampry.
Aye.
Delegate Adams.
Yes.
Delegate Pippy. Delegate Crosby is excused. Delegate Rose is excused. Delegate Wyville. Yes. Delegate Roberts. Yes. House Bill 431.
House Bill 431, brought to us by Delegate Baylor, is real property recordation and printing of subdivision plats alterations. As amended, originally the bill included an increase in fees along with some technological advances to make sure that people can provide their plats and printing from digital instead of having to always print it out. The fees have been removed. I'll repeat again with the amendments. The fees have been removed. So now the bill does not have any increase in fees. It simply does the technological update so people can submit their plats online.
Move the amendments.
Just been a motion and second. All in the amendments, say aye.
Aye.
Any Delegate Pippy?
Question. Okay, so we got the fee part, that's clear. So explain this electronic part, or what, are we reducing requirements to make it easier, or are we increasing requirements for whatever this bill's trying to address?
So my understanding is that originally you'd have to print out these plats and submit them in person before, but now you can, with this update, you're allowed to submit them digitally in advance, and then you can bring the printed version once there's been more back and forth.
And where does it say that?
Let me find the update. Again, my email's down, so I'm having to. Well, Council, can you provide the page and breakdown? Sorry about that.
That's all right.
So the language, it doesn't explicitly say that, but on page 2 or page, let's see, page 2, there, it's talking about, one second. Yeah, page 2, lines 11 through 14, the plat shall be legible, drawn accurately and to scale, and shall be submitted for recordation in a format that conforms to archival standards. The use of Mylar is a printed process, that's my understanding. But generally, what the bill is doing in that provision and in the subsequent edits to the rest of that section is modernizing the regulation and the recordation of the subdivision plats.
Has the archival standards changed?
The archival standards have changed from using Mylar predominantly to now they're doing digital submissions as well. That was some of the testimony that was submitted on that.
And the surveyors and Maryland Society of Surveyors are in support of the bill, and we removed the fees, which were the Maryland Building and the Industry Association's biggest concern.
Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, it sounds like you're making it easier for people, which generally we like, so. And then you're striking the fee, so.
No fees.
Okay, thank you.
There's been a motion and a second. All in the amendment, say aye. Any opposition? Seeing none.
Move bill favorable with amendments.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none. Vice Chair Charkoudian.
Yes.
Delegate Turner. Yes. Delegate Fennell. Yes. Delegate Pruski. Aye. Delegate Howard. Yes. Delegate Johnson. Aye. Delegate Boifo. Aye. Delegate Bandari. Delegate Rogers. Yes. Delegate Chi.
Yes.
Delegate Aaron's. Yes. Delegate Queen.
Yes.
Delegate Ampry.
Yes.
Delegate Adams. Yes. Delegate Pippi. Yes. Delegate Crosby's excused. Delegate Rose is excused. Delegate Wyval. Yes. Delegate Roberts. Yes. House Bill 485.
House Bill 485, State Board of Professional Landscape Architects revisions. Basically, what it does is just update some of the specificity of some of the board members. There is no opposition to the bill, and the subcommittee liked this one.
Move favorable.
There's been a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none. Vice Chair Charkoudian.
Yes.
Delegate Turner. Yes. Delegate Fennell. Yes. Delegate Pruski. Delegate Howard. Yes. Delegate Johnson. Delegate Boifo. Delegate Bandari. Yes. Delegate Rogers. Yes. Delegate Chi.
Yes.
Delegate Aaron's. Delegate Queen.
Yes.
Delegate Ampry. Yes. Delegate Adams. Yes. Delegate Pippi. Yes. Delegate Crosby's excused. Delegate Rose is excused. Delegate Wyval. Yes. Delegate Roberts. Yes. House Bill 487.
House Bill 487 is allowing TEDCO, which is the Maryland Technology Development Corporation, to create, actually it requires, I shouldn't say allows, it requires TEDCO to create and adopt a process to address investments in businesses that no longer meet the criteria of a qualified Maryland business, because sometimes it happens when businesses change, they no longer meet the criteria. So right now, they have a certain process in place, but they actually asked for this bill so that they can establish a procedure to evaluate and, if possible, claw back the programs and grants and incentives as needed.
Move favorable.
There's been a motion and a second. Any discussion? Delegate Adams?
Not that I know of. TEDCO and Tech Council are both in favor of this bill. They asked for it, yeah.
Delegate Pippy?
So what are the, I'm sorry, maybe I wasn't paying attention. What are the additional regulations they have to adopt? Did you just say that?
So, yeah, the bill is super simple. There's only one sentence in this bill, basically, that says the corporation, which is TEDCO, shall adopt the regulations establishing the investment committee, which they already are required to do, and the responsibilities of the investment committee, including a process for considering remedies, including divestment for investments in the business that no longer meets the definition of a qualified business. So Mindy is from TEDCO. She's right here if you want to ask her clarifications about examples.
Delegate Pippy, council wants to clarify something for your question as well. Oh, for Delegate Adams, I'm sorry.
Well, good.
Both, okay, fine.
I apologize. You may finish, Delegate Pippy.
Oh, okay. So I'm just reading the bold, right? So including a process for considering remedies, including divestment for investment. I don't know what any of that means, I gotta be honest with you. Someone could explain what that means?
Could you repeat it, Dr. Pippy?
Yeah, so like, what does that sentence mean? So page 2.
So they can divest.
5 through 8.
So occasionally what happens is when, you have to meet certain requirements in order for TEDCO to give you investment. Sometimes, businesses grow, which is, what companies do, and they move out of state. So they're no longer here, which means the TEDCO can no longer invest in them. But I think what this bill is trying to do, instead of TEDCO saying we're just cutting off completely, we're not doing anything, TEDCO now can come up with processes that work for them and for the company so that they can properly cut ties with the company instead of doing it in a haphazard way. Mindy, if I am speaking incorrectly, please correct me. But I believe that is what divestment means, a way for them to get their money back and to set up a process that works best for all parties involved.
Does this mean we have to keep paying them even though they left Maryland?
Coming up with the process so they aren't continuing to pay them because they left Maryland.
So they can legally do it without being challenged when they have to cut ties.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Mindy Lehman with TEDCO, and thank you for the question. And what we see at TEDCO is TEDCO has by statute a number of qualifications that are called the Qualified Maryland Business Definition, and the business has to be able to check all those boxes to receive a TEDCO investment. One of the things, for example, is that the business has to have 51% of the employees have to be Marylanders. And what we have seen as businesses grow, they might acquire a company that is across state lines in Delaware, for example. So nothing changes with the Maryland employee base. In fact, it might have increased. But if there should be more employees than Maryland employees, that ratio is automatically thrown out of whack. And then by statute, we have to divest from that. So this creates a process by which we can do that without destabilizing the company, which could still be a very strong Maryland company, or in the example of if they leave the state, we can unwind ourselves from that company in a way that doesn't put TEDCO and thus the state of Maryland at a disadvantage.
What would be the disadvantage that Maryland has by?
If the company is growing and doing really well, and then all of a sudden they decide for whatever reasons to move out of state, TEDCO's financial position with that company, if we have to divest right away, might end up losing money on that investment. That's right. So if we can divest from it at a slower rate, then that investment can stand to earn the state of Maryland more money than if we do it overnight, sort of in a, like a, what's that expression? Like a fire barn sale. I mean, that's not quite that expression doesn't match it, but hopefully that gives a little more of light to it. So we've had instances where if we had been able to maintain that investment in that growing company, we could have secured an additional $1 million or $2 million on that investment for the state of Maryland. And then those proceeds are, it's an evergreen fund, so those proceeds are recycled through the program, and then TEDCO uses that to make additional investments in Maryland companies. So there are instances, it's not intended for, the provision is not intended to somehow reward companies that are up and moving to, I don't know, I'll just pick Alabama as an example. So we will divest from that, but it will be in a more controlled way that allows TEDCO to maximize the benefits for the state of Maryland, or if it's a situation where the ratio has gotten out of whack due to organic growth, that we are not putting that Maryland company in a bad situation because these are still really very early stage companies. So happy to answer any of the questions. I don't know if that got to the meat of your question.
I appreciate the specific examples. Thank you.
Chair, if I understood it correctly, this will give TEDCO greater flexibility and oversight, right, in managing your equity investment while maintaining investment limits and kind of liability protection. Did I understand correctly?
Yes, sir.
And another provision is it replaces mandatory divestment with your structure, the board decision, and documented decision process focus on the state best financial interest. Is that correct?
That's correct. And then the new processes will be established in regulation. So that will be out there for everyone to see, and that is still subject to control by TEDCO's investment committee. So it's setting up a process for a more controlled way, but in a way that is very transparent for the state of Maryland and for investors to see.
And I just want to, if I may add, for context, the TEDCO acts like as a state-funded investor that actively invests in certain viable early-stage companies as an equity investor. So this allows them to roll back if necessary in a structured way without being challenged, so to speak.
Yes.
How does TEDCO get its money?
So the vast majority of TEDCO's money is provided by the state of Maryland, probably about 95%. A small amount of our money does come from the federal government, for example, through a congressional earmark. Is a good example, or different grant programs at the federal level.
So 95% of TEDCO's money that it uses to invest is taxpayer dollars?
That's right, and these go to support Maryland businesses, enabling them to get a startup. So frequently our companies, I mean, they're all early stage startup in technology. TEDCO's mission is technology, bioscience, life tech. So these are companies that are on the brink of commercializing, but they have challenges getting that traditional access to capital funds. So TEDCO frequently is that first dollar in, and then we help that early stage growth, which then enables that company to put down roots, grow jobs, and then position for traditional capital at a later stage in their growth. So we're at that really early cusp of growth, creating jobs in the state.
Or potentially out of state?
I'm sorry?
I said, or potentially out of state if they're divesting, right?
Yes, but they all have to be Maryland qualified businesses to receive TEDCO investment.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Council has a clarification for Delegate Adams from earlier.
You asked, Delegate Adams, you asked about an unfavorable. Only one person signed up unfavorable. They submitted no testimony, and they just listed themselves as a concerned citizen.
Delegate Ahrens?
Yeah, is this bill was here last year, correct?
I don't think so.
I think it was Senate bill. Wasn't this a Senate bill last year?
So this provision was included in the broader Decade Act, which was the governor's larger economic development. This was a provision within the Decade Act. So it would have been heard in the House Ways and Means Committee last year, as well as on the Senate. So the Decade Act passed with this provision in it out of the Senate, but I don't think it advanced on the House side.
Yeah.
Now, when the governor included a skinny down version just using my own terms, to advance the Decade Act. This piece of it, which is more of a procedural piece, was not included with that.
So it's not in the same posture?
This provision is exactly the same posture as it was in the Decade Act. It's just moving as a solo bill versus being bundled into the Decade Act, which includes a lot of changes for both Medco and Commerce. So this piece of it was we separated it out with the blessing of the governor's office, and then just move forward with it independently.
Delegate Bhandari.
This bill talk about investment committee. If I understood correctly, the Maryland Technology, the TEDCO Board of Directors establishes the investment committee, right?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, there was a motion and a second on a favorable. Vice Chair Charkoudian.
Yes.
Delegate Turner. Yes. Delegate Fennell.
Yes.
Delegate Pruski. Aye. Delegate Howard. Yes. Delegate Johnson. Aye. Delegate Boifo. Aye. Delegate Bhandari. Yes. Delegate Rogers. Yes. Delegate Chi. Yes. Delegate Aaron's. Yes. Delegate Queen. Yes. Delegate Ampry. Yes. Delegate Adams. Delegate Pippi? No, no. Okay, like for real, no. Delegate Crosby's excused. Delegate Rose is excused. Delegate Wyville? Yeah. I'm sorry, what? Yeah. Delegate Roberts? Yes. Okay.
House Bill 683 and House Bill 823.
Second. There's been motion and second withdrawn unfavorable. Any opposition? Seeing none, is withdrawn. Unfavorable. Okay, that's the end of our voting list. Thanks, everyone. We are adjourned. Subcommittee chairs, you have your meetings.